Liz, you're a mentor here in LEAD. You've talked to so many people about the concept of Be Do Have, how it brings clarity, helps you with your vision, all of these things. Can you explain Be Do Have in simple terms, just to recap for everybody?
Yeah, I'm sure our awesome LEAD mentees are going through everything on the course, but just a little overview. So Be Do Have pretty much goes against having the doing and the being, right? So a lot of people now, they want to say, oh, you know, once I have a better paying job, then I can buy this awesome car. Or once I have this relationship, then I'm going to be happy. And that's not true, right? You got to be that person. You got to be those qualities first in order to do the things to have what you want. So that's what we teach in Be Do Have. So be are characteristics. For example, I want to be more patient. I want to be more empathetic. I want to be more dedicated, consistent. And then I'm going to do the things. For example, if I want to be, I know for me in my life, if I want to be consistent, that's to go to the gym. So my do is to show up into the gym every day, and I'm going to have a healthy lifestyle. I'm going to have, you know, confidence. So have is in the Be Do Have portrayed as a byproduct because of the things I do from who I am. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Instead of just waiting until that thing happens, assuming it's going to change how I feel. And a lot of people are like, man, I can't wait to have this thing that's going to fulfill some type of thing in their life, like happiness or materialistic. And we know that's not true. So
that's awesome. Yeah, thanks for that answer. So it's true that here in our culture and our society, we tend to do things backwards than the Be Do Have. How has this been such a pivotal, like that dichotomy shift? How has that been such a pivotal thing for you in your life? How has that brought you clarity, and how has it transformed you?
Yeah, I mean, even just with vision boarding, goal setting, you have to start with yourself first. So Be Do Have is a great self-awareness exercise where before you evaluate, you know, your goal, it's like, okay, well, where am I right now? Who do I want to be? So that's your main question in Be Do Have. Then you're going to do those things.
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's okay.
What did the examples of good bees look like, and what are examples of like bees that maybe there's a little bit more confusing, or maybe you're not quite getting it?
I guess I'll start with the bad bees first, right? You know, being a mentor, you hear, I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, right? And that's awesome. But I usually challenge the question of what characteristics does it take to be rich, right? So you have to be dedicated, you probably have to be consistent.
Yeah.
You want to see your money grow, you probably have to be patient. So that's what we're looking for. Those are the good bees. So,
awesome.
You know, being empathetic, loving, caring, patient, dedicated, hardworking, those are what makes that person that wants to be a good athlete or wants to be a straight A student. You need to start with, okay, well then what actually makes that person be that I think it is? Or for example, you know, not just the being rich, but I want the titles, right? The professions of I want to be a doctor or an entrepreneur. I want to be a college student.
Yeah.
So what makes a good doctor? No.
Yeah.
What are some characteristics?
So a doctor is a hardworking, probably a detail-oriented, very studious person. So those are the characteristics that probably need to be in your B in order to align with what you want to have. So really, those professions and everything you've mentioned, like be rich or be wealthy, are in the have category, not so much the be category, right? Because it's a result. And the have is synonymous with the result you're going to get because of the bees, because of what you're doing.
Yeah, or just like the entrepreneur. Like if I want to be an entrepreneur, well, what does it take? You know, what characteristics? I probably have to be open-minded. Probably have to be someone who sacrifices. And then you get into the do of like, okay, actually having a business plan, you know, getting your LLC, networking. But I need to be confident. I need to be willing. I need to be somebody who's persevering. That's what we look for in B, is who do I need to be? Who am I right now? Who do I want to be? Those are the B's.
Awesome. Thank you for clearing that up. And when it comes to doing, what are some good examples of do, and what are some examples of doing that maybe is just not really it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that can go into the do. We can correlate things to the B's, but I usually say it's just what do you want to do in life? You know, what's on your bucket list? Where do you want to study? What do you want to do in life? Is just the do. But you can also take it as a goal. Let's say I want to have a good relationship, right, with my significant other. So the things I have to do, I probably have to be invested, right? I need to go on dates and, you know, communicate.
Do that stuff,
Right, so that's what I'm doing. It's my intention. So do can be seen as what's on your bucket list, like skydiving or, you know, going to that one concert you really want to go
Yeah.
to. Because you probably have to be the person that's a planner, that's an organizer.
Yeah.
So that's your do. It's just what is your action? You know, what is your next step that's going to take you to your have, which I'm sure we'll get here in a little bit.
Yeah, totally. I love what you said about that. And I think a common question that's going to come out of this too, I know you mentioned like doing is things on your bucket list. It's, you know, kind of like the things that are in line with your B's, do's, and haves. It's kind of like a line. It's relevant to each other and it makes sense. Do your be, do, haves have to do that, or can they be siloed? Like,
Yeah.
be this, and then maybe that doesn't necessarily correlate to being a doctor. Like, what is your kind of philosophy on that?
I think just getting started in the LEAD program, you just want to write it all down.
Okay,
Write all
great.
your B's down, write all your do's, your haves. Because then as you go through the program and just you being a better leader, then you can get detailed and specific. Because in smarter goal setting, you're going to have a goal, right?
Yeah.
You want your goal to be specific and measurable. And then you can take your be, do, haves. And those are your supporting statements. And you can ask yourself, okay, I want to have this goal. I want to have $1,000 saved up. Okay, what do I need to do? Probably need to get a little job or, you know, actually save money, budget. But then who do I need to be? I have to be intentional. I have to be smart. I have to be educated and willing. So then you can incorporate that detailed be, do, have when you know what you want to get out of it. Does that make sense? But we're
Yes.
not just write it all down. What are things you want to do?
Right.
in
That's why we
life?
asked you guys to do 25 because then it's like a brainstorming session, and then we, you know, distill it down to the 10 to the most important ones.
Yeah, but you can definitely take an example, like you said, being a good doctor. You know, that's a profession, that's a job. So that's usually your have. Kind of break it down. What are some things you need to do? You probably need to
Yeah.
get a good score in your MCAT. You probably need to shadow, right? You probably need to actually get into medical school. So then that's your do's. That's your life to-do list. You know, as a college student, you're prepping for
Yes.
that. That's what you're looking for.
I love that. And also, something I really love about the discussions here with be, do, have, and goal setting, and everything that's coming, and everything that we've talked about so far in terms of self-awareness in the LEAD program, it's so much like thinking and reflecting on yourself and what you
Yep.
want. And what I think is so cool about this is I've met so many people who have the intentions of, you know, it really looks cool when Kylie Jenner is making all this money and I want to be an influencer just like her. But then you actually take it down to the nitty-gritty details of, you know, a job like even being a doctor, being an influencer. We're really encouraging you here in LEAD to think through all those steps. And in that process, it's also okay to assess that, man, that is really intense and maybe not really worth it to me. And that's an okay conclusion to come to too, because your be, do, haves can change, right?
Or, I mean, just to add to that, you know,
Yeah.
being a mentor, you have kids that genuinely do want to be like a YouTube influencer.
Yeah.
And that's great. I mean, look at our generation, right? That's what we do. We get famous from TikTok.
Right.
But it's not easy. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
people, it's like, oh, I just need to upload that one video that's going to go viral.
Yeah.
And that's not true.
That's not true.
A lot of these influencers, they have this content plan and they're writing scripts and they're
working.
assigning dates and times that this content is going to go live. So it's a lot of work, and that's underestimated. And you can use your be, do, have to prepare yourself. You know, if you really want to
Absolutely.
be that YouTube influencer, what do you need to do? Go talk to people that are influencers, see what they do. Who do you need to be? You have to definitely be creative, right?
Yeah.
That's characteristic. You have to be just somebody that
Is likable.
Yeah.
You're friendly. You're a friendly
good
face.
communicator.
Very
You know,
good
you're
communicator.
expressing certain things online for everybody to see.
Yeah.
So that's a be, do, have is, okay, what is this one thing that I want to have? And you can always work your way back if that's easier or
Yeah.
moving forward. So
That's awesome. And so back to the question I know I asked you a little earlier. How has be, do, have brought you clarity in your life, and how do you use it?
yeah, I mean, that's where I start. You know, if I have a goal, I ask myself, okay, who am I right now? Do I have the characteristics to achieve that right now? And am I embodying those characteristics to be successful and accomplish that? And I mean, once you go through that, that's on my vision board, right? And
Yeah.
from my vision board, I'm pulling that smarter goal setting method we learned at LEAD. I'm visualizing my be, do, have. So I can have, you know, a picture of a girl with a great physique, right? I love working out. I ran track in college. I weight lift every day, so it's a passion of mine. But if I have a goal, it's great, like it's perfect on a vision board and a picture, but then what are the things I need to do and who do I need to be, right? So if I have this fitness goal, I'm going all the way back to my B. I need to be consistent, I need to be disciplined, I need to be determined, I need to be willing, I need to be that person, right? And then I'm going to do the things. I'm going to meal prep. I'm going to wake up early before work to go work out. I'm probably going to be okay with saying no sometimes. There's all those things. The do is such an important part in your be do have. If I do those things, as a result, I'm going to have, you know, a healthy lifestyle, a good physique. The have is such a byproduct, and I think that's underestimated in the be do have concept. The have, it's going to happen. You know, if you study hard, you're going to have those good grades. You know, if you go to class and, if you go to class and you do your schoolwork, you're probably going to have those scholarships. Just kind of think about, if I do the things I said I was going to do because of who I am, I'm going to have everything that I want.
That's absolutely awesome. Thanks for sharing all of this with us, Liz, and I know it's really valuable. So I know a question everybody's probably thinking is, are there like time frames that all of the be do have happens in? Is it all immediate? Is it all like, tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that's a great question. So your be, it's the now, right? Who do you need to be now, or who are you now? And the do, that's the next step. But first, you know, I need to be patient, I need to be loving. You know, if one day I want to be a mom, you know, let's say that's my have, that's in the future, I want to be married or different things. But I can be that now. I can be patient. I can be loving. I can be empathetic, right? I can be a good listener, a good communicator. And then I'm going to do the things next. So it's okay, what do I need to do in order to have that? So the have is your future. The do is the next. But then the be is the now. So you can't think about your future and what's next if you're not focusing on who you need to be now. That's why it's be, do, have, and not have, do, be, right? Because a lot of people think about the future first, then what they need to do and how that's going to change who they are. But remember, we need to start with ourselves first to do the things, to be capable, to embody the things to do that. And then we're going to have, it's a result, right? It's a byproduct.
Sweet.
So,
thank you.